Listen to me. If you sneaky, manipulative, emotionally inconsistent, or even if you secretly entertaining stuff behind the scenes, do not date somebody with spiritual discernment. Because one thing about spiritual aware people, we may not say something immediately, but we notice. And I think some people misunderstand discernment. They think discernment means God told me your social security number. No. A lot of times discernment is simply hiding awareness, right? Sometimes people can't explain it. It's like they just know. Like, you ever notice how you just know when someone is lying, when you know someone is like just not right? It's like you have this off feeling about them, right? And it's when your spirit catches what your mouth is trying to hide. See, we notice the delayed responses, the random energy shifts, the emotional distance, the fake enthusiasm, the selective communication that some people operate in, the I'm just tired that don't feel tired, right? See, sneaky people struggle with spiritually discerning people because discerning people read patterns. And patterns preach louder than explanations. See, some of y'all can lie with your words, but your behavior be snitching the whole single time. And the crazy part is discernment doesn't always expose people immediately, because God will let a discerning person sit quietly and collect data first for a very long time. Won't even let you expose. Like, knowing you're lying right in front of their face wouldn't say anything, would just play dumb, because playing dumb is a superpower. I talked about that before. That's why spiritual mature people don't always react fast, because we understand something. We understand that reactions can interrupt revelation. See, sometimes God will literally let us watch a situation unfold without saying anything, because exposure teaches better than arguments. Some people think if they didn't bring it up, they must not know. Whole time, the discerning person knows enough already. They just waiting to see if honesty gonna enter the room on its own. And this is why sneaky people start feeling uncomfortable around spiritually discerning people, because conviction creates tension. That's why some folk randomly become distant after doing wrong. Not because you accused them, but because your presence started confronting what they were hiding. See, spiritually discerning people carry something dangerous. That's awareness. And sneaky people hate awareness because secrecy survives best in darkness when no one knows. That's why some people call you too deep. You think too much. You're always reading into stuff. No, you just keep forgetting that discernment notices inconsistencies. You can't feed spiritually aware people confusion forever. Eventually, the puzzle starts connecting itself. And let me help some people real quick. Discernment is not paranoia, okay? Because some people weaponize discernment to justify insecurity, jealousy, or control. Everything ain't cheating. Everything ain't betrayal. Everything ain't witchcraft. That part. Some people genuinely busy. Some people genuinely tired. Some people genuinely dealing with life. But spiritually mature discernment recognizes the difference between human imperfection and hidden deception. There's a difference. See, that's wisdom. And one thing I learned, people who constantly move sneaky eventually expose themselves emotionally. They don't be knowing it, because deception is exhausting. You got to remember lies. You got to manage personalities, delete evidence, switch stories, control narratives, monitor reactions. That's too much work. Meanwhile, spiritually discerning people just be sitting there like, interesting. And what's so funny is sneaky people usually tell on themselves trying not to tell on themselves. Like, they over-explain, get defensive too fast, start acting weird over simple questions, become emotionally unavailable out of nowhere. Because guilt changes behavior. I'm going to say that one more time. Guilt always changes behavior. See, a clean conscience moves differently. And let me say this too. Don't date spiritually discerning people if you addicted to half-truths. Because discerning people don't only hear what you said, they notice what you strategically left out. Some people don't technically lie. They just omit enough information to manipulate perception. And spiritually mature people pick up on that fast. That awkward silence, that hesitation, that random switch in tones, that energy shift when certain names come up. Yeah, Discernment be catching a lot. And honestly, a lot of spiritually discerning people get tired, because people love the benefits of discernment until discernment starts exposing what they hope would stay hidden. See, folks love when discernment protects them, but hate when discernment confronts them. And one thing about God is he will never give discernment just for somebody to become controlling, prideful, or arrogant. Real discernment comes with humility, because spiritually mature people understand I'm not always shown things so I can attack people. Sometimes I'm shown things so I can make wise decisions. That's why everybody with discernment ain't loud. Some people just quietly reposition, right? They adjust. No arguments, no dramatic speech, no Facebook status. They just, yeah, this energy ain't safe for me anymore, and leave accordingly, right? So listen to me. If you sneaky, don't date discerning people, because eventually the inconsistency is going to speak. The pattern's going to preach. The energy going to shift, and the truth is going to leak out through the cracks. And spiritually mature people know something powerful. God may not always expose people immediately, but eventually darkness run out of places to hide.